Hello, welcome back. I'm Dr. Lori Williams. Today I want to talk to you about the huge difference, the very fine line between healing and avoiding. Unfortunately, in today's day and age, you hear a lot of things of like, oh, I'm just protecting my peace, or I'm going to, I'm trying to think positive. And these may work in the short term. There is no possible way that they're going to work in the long term. And I just want you to know if you want to use these tactics, by all means, go ahead. I mean, you have free will and free choice, but there's no actual healing going on. If you are on a healing journey and you truly want to heal yourself, you're mentally, emotionally, spiritually, healing the nervous system, reprogramming the nervous system, um, avoidance is not the answer. It doesn't actually do anything. Avoidance usually has a cost, and the cost is suppressing more emotions. And essentially, if you are on a healing journey, if you feel like you need to heal in some way, shape, or form, the reason that you need to heal is because you've been suppressing your emotions. So you're just continuing to do what you've always done, causing the same long term problems that you've always had, and nothing actually changes. So when people say, oh, I'm just protecting my peace, I'm going to walk away from this relationship because I'm just protecting my peace, that they're not allowing themselves to feel. They're not allowing, you know, they're avoiding whatever hurt or whatever discomfort has come up with that other person. This usually just leads to going no contact. Avoidance leads to the ending of relationships. Like I said, everything, it always has a cost, and the cost can be losing somebody that you care about. Um, just ignoring them and ghosting people. This is all avoidance behavior. So essentially, what you want to do instead is you want to feel the things that you need to feel. And instead of avoiding, I encourage my clients to take what I call radical responsibility, radical accountability. And you would think that, you know, blaming yourself for everything is counterproductive. First, I want to say it's not blaming yourself for everything. It's actually figuring out where your power is in something. For an example, if you have, you're protecting your peace from a relationship and somebody that keeps hurting you, like emotionally hurting you, you got to at some point stop asking yourself, why is this person keep hurting me? And instead ask yourself the question, and this is where your power is why do I continue to allow it? The answer for you of why you keep allowing it is because on some level, you have been programmed, your nervous system has been programmed that in order for you to feel safe, wanted, valued, you had to ignore yourself. You became the people pleaser. You had to ignore your needs. You had to ignore your boundaries. You most likely don't have any, probably are one of those people that are very, very against boundaries, all because it makes you feel uncomfortable. Now, one thing that I always talk to my clients about as you're going through the nervous system reprogramming is that the nervous system only accepts what is comfortable, not necessarily what is right for you. I'm going to say that again. Your nervous system will accept what is comfortable, not what is right for you, not what is healthy for you. It's going to base off of what in your past, what you had to do in order to make you feel safe. That's it. That's the survival self. Your nervous system will always respond to those kinds of things as a comfort, as a this is the way that I need to do things. When in reality, all you're really doing is bypassing if if you're just like continue to push more emotions down. If you are allowing yourself to just walk away from relationships and lose people that you say that you care about because you don't want to have those hard conversations, you don't want to have to look at your own behavior and your own part of this, you're doing yourself and the other person such a huge disservice because like if I have a fallout with somebody, the very first thing is that I ask myself is what is my part in this? How can I fix this? Like it's not even about the other person at that point. It's how can I fix what's going on within me for me. It has nothing to do with them. Uh, I never I never go back to the person to talk to them and blame them for it because it was never about them. They were just the mirror back to me of what was going on within me. To avoid things, to what is called spiritual bypassing, to go no contact, essentially that's just your nervous system going in fight or flight response, which is again the programming. It's what makes you feel safe. It's what makes you feel comfortable. It's not necessarily right for you. If you can sit down and have that hard conversation with someone and realize, okay, you know what, I can forgive them. I can, forgive what they've done. I can forgive the hurt that they've done. But, it's been X amount of years and the patterns are still the same and the patterns aren't going to change. That at that point you have to say, what do I need to change within myself in order to make sure that this is not going to happen again, that I'm not going to get hurt again. Now, once you've had those hard conversations, if you've come to the realization that the other person's not going to change, and just a spoiler alert, other people do not have to change to make you feel comfortable. That is not their job. Other people's job is in your life on a spiritual level is actually to make you uncomfortable, to show you where you're still have, where you still have these connections that aren't actually safe for you. So essentially, in being able to recognize that, okay, this has happened, the person is not going to change, this is their pattern. Um, at that point, you have the choice to walk away, obviously. But I would always encourage healthy boundaries first, because the truth of it is no one can hurt you. No one can make you feel anything without your permission. They can't hurt you without your permission. They can't, if somebody says something negative to me, I can get up and walk away. I am a free, sovereign human being who does not have to sit there and take any kind of people talking down to me or being ignorant to me. Especially if I've had those conversations with them in the past of saying, hey, I don't appreciate the way that you're talking to me. For me to sit there and continue to listen to it, that's not okay. That is not okay for me. That's not me being accountable or taking a responsibility. That's me allowing myself to continue to be victimized of this person's doing this to me, when in fact I'm the one that's sitting there listening to it, tolerating it. So boundaries are very, very healthy, and recognizing your part in the allowing of the behavior is what's actually going to help you to heal. That, ultimately it comes down to, like I said, if you look at every single person in your life as a mirror, rather than pointing the finger of, oh, they did this to me, they did that to me, they didn't do anything to you. Nobody has ever done anything to you. And I that is a hill I am willing to die on, because no one has ever done anything to you, ever. And the more you recognize this, the deeper you go into that radical self responsibility and that radical accountability. People are going to be and say and do whatever they want to be, do and say. They have the ability to do that, but you also have the ability to respond in a healthy way that is for your benefit. The more you continue to avoid yourself and avoid accountability and avoid responsibility, the more everything else is going to be everybody else's fault, and you're going to be in victim mentality. If you have followed me for any amount of time, you've heard me say this before, and I will keep saying it. Nothing good comes out of victim mentality. You will be stuck there. You will be the victim. It will be poor me. All of this is happening to me, and honestly, at that point, you're just really completely missing the whole point of life. So take that accountability. Be radically accountable with yourself. Take the radical responsibility with your life, how you're showing up, how you're not showing up, with the emotions that you're feeling, with the emotions that you're avoiding, everything. This is what true healing looks like. And this is at the point when true healing can actually happen. As long as you're still avoiding anything, especially the emotions aspect of it, as long as you're still avoiding any of it, there's no healing going on. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you back here next time.